So like I said, if there was one bit of legacy that I would say, this is here for my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, this course would be it. Because navigating this world with the old information is absolutely crazy making and keeps you stuck. Where the galactic landscape gives you a different platform on which to work. So we have been on this planet as star beings, our souls in physical bodysuits, for generations and generations of time. So things that we are dealing with in the present moment didn't begin in our early childhood. It did not. And if we only go to that and thinks that it's going to heal the depth that it is that's causing our pain, we will never become free. So I'm just going to go through a little kind of a slideshow here. And so here we are. This is a picture, literally a picture energetically of Laniakea, which is a supercluster. It is a space beyond what we could even comprehend. And in that space are galaxies upon galaxies and planets and who knows what else. That Laniakea has an intelligence. What we work with in the tag system, we work with the intelligent field of Laniakea because we are within that system. Where are we within Laniakea? We are within the Milky Way galaxy. So here we are in the Milky Way galaxy, and there's all of these multiples that we have no knowledge of, really. We know they're there, but we don't know why, what, or etc. in the Milky Way galaxy. If we go back to Laniakea, I'm going to, because I think this is, see where that, right where my pointer is, that is the Milky Way galaxy, right there, the little dot. And within that little dot is an even little smaller dot called Earth, but it's within the Milky Way galaxy. So home, would we call Laniakea home? Is that what we would call home? Source? Possibly. Certainly Milky Way galaxy would be considered home. Unlimited unknown possibilities. And as we then, you as a dot of intelligence, a spectrum of intelligence coalesced around a specific idea of what you wanted to experience more directly, whether it was joy, peace, leadership, clarity, inner knowing, whatever it was you coalesced about one of those families that are now on the planet, you became extended from home or burst into what we call first world. We've talked about that. This is the first world. And because in Laniakea, there were already agendas of domination like viruses floating around, parasitic types floating around. They always killed their host. Their host's energy got so diminished they couldn't live any longer on suck and dry. So they were always looking for new juicy collectives, of which you were one of those. Here was your first world. And so you have already made a very clear, soul deep commitment to live a range of all good. That's why you are not in that place of home. You made a commitment to live and experience and create good. This first world is where it became the first step out, not disconnected from home, but extended from home. And then we got attached and deceived, invaded by outsiders, that our energy began to diminish. So this slinky kind of spiral got smaller and smaller and smaller until down here at the seventh world, we were ready to give up the ghost. therefore Earth mission. What most people, even especially in the personal growth, metaphysical, that kind of community, what they work with is this energy of what we call Earth. So it has 8 dimensions, 3 of the 3D of the physical, 4, 5 of the mental, 6, 7 of the emotional body, and the 7, 8 of the spiritual body. And if you're in a personal growth, there's an acknowledgement that we have those 4 bodies. Now, within that energy field, we started being diminished, attacked, attached to, deceived, lied to, etc., way back in this galactic world that's held within Milky Way and Laniakea. So up in Laniakea, up in Milky Way, there are seeds of disease, destruction, diminishment, etc. That definitely, here comes Janelle, that definitely part of the vibration extended with us into our pods that keep our collectives that became Earth. And welcome, Janelle. We're just kind of reviewing here. So throughout this entire spiral, there's pockets of energy. I call it negative karma, just to give it a name. Little pockets or seeds that are going to manifest and grow into problems. And some of are your creation. A lot of them are not your creation. Are you of my light? Those are not of your creation. You don't fix them. You don't change them. You don't heal them. You have them removed. So here's our journey through the galactic worlds. And when you go right down here to world 8, that's where we then can put this one in place, which is our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual energies. Now, here's a picture of how it looks. So you see, here's your birth. I have an orange line. This is birth into this lifetime. This is what you bring into this lifetime, everything below the surface. Energy codes that were held for broadcasting from who knows wherever. Your galactic family, the deceit, the outsider's attachments. And so you birth into this lifetime, and we think a baby has clean slate. No, it doesn't have clean slate. All of these situations are there under the surface that can manifest at any time. Why? So that we will know that the seeds are there. Why? So we can eliminate the seeds. So if you only do things to numb out the symptoms or the situation of pain, if you only numb that out, you'll continually live with other symptoms of pain popping up, because the answer isn't to numb out, it's to get awareness and tools to go deeply enough to free yourself and then your family, etc. So that's what we have available to us on the tag, when we're using tag on the Galactic Landscape. There is so much information that has been intentionally hidden from those of us star beings in Earth bodies, intentionally hidden. Why? Because if you don't know the problem, if you think the problem, for example, is the chemicals on the food, and you go after the chemicals on the food, you'll never clean up the food, because it's not the chemicals on the food, it's the agendas under the chemicals on the food that allow chemicals on the food to be accepted. So when you don't know the problem, when you don't know the seed, you cannot solve the problem. You're solving the wrong problem. And when the outsiders pit black against white, red against white, yellow against red, I mean, when they pit us against each other, it absolutely, we're solving a problem wasn't even a problem. That's not what's going on. So when you have made a decision, and you have, that's why you're in this class, that this is an outcome that I want. And it's an outcome you may have wanted before, and it's now going, you're going to get a little bit more deeply engrossed in it. You're going to apply more tools to it. You're going to get more clarity around it. It doesn't have to be a new outcome, but you're taking it further. That's what we're doing and why we're adding right off the bat. First of all, your clarity of who you are. I'm a presence of, remember? I'm a presence of. What are you a presence of? I'm a presence of wisdom, clarity, anchoring with authority, whatever you claimed, and you can change and refine that. This is where you start with you. Then you have to be radically committed to being responsible for what shows up in your world, because the way we've survived up until now is feeling like God did it to you or somebody else did it to you, or I'm not responsible for it and I blame everybody else and I don't know what to do and I live in victimhood and I do the best I can, and then you never get past it. We have truly lived in survival techniques for many, many generations because we had to. I'm saying humanity did not have the restoration of the female assignment, which was to sense or taste, this expands me, this constricts me. And because this constricts me, I can speak sword in the ground, staff in the ground. This is my space, my life, my family. This is mine. I claim it as mine because I am on Sophia collective authority. Sword into the sky, remove what is constricting. I see this constricting, remove it, deep six. Without that authority, we had no authority as women to eliminate what has been destroying our families. We had no authority to do it. It had been ripped away from us. So we had to survive. Therefore, 7 generations and further in your lineage, your mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, great-great-great-grandmothers, they fawned to men, they kept themselves quiet, they fought with each other, survival, they had to. So here you are saying, I am free, I am sovereign, I'm authority. In order for you to hold that space, the generations back need to be also included. Otherwise, they're holding and flowing to you the survival, which is what they had. Nothing wrong with them, nothing wrong with them, nothing bad about them. But that's what they did to get you where you are. They held the pain, they kept themselves silent, all of that to help hopefully get their family to a place where they could live as true soul star beings. And that's where we're at. So remember last week, and Janelle, just to kind of catch you up, there's a lot of reasons so many couldn't be on the call tonight that we're going to do, we're going to take a journey and a process for you that are here that they can listen to, but we may repeat and deepen next week because it's so powerful when, beyond just listening. So welcome. We're glad you're here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So here is, last week we did part 1 of that generational. And if you can just be in imagination as I remind you. So last week, I reminded you that you've claimed a presence and then you've claimed an outcome. When you claim a new outcome, even an expanded outcome, old patterns, situations, and people who would prevent you from having that outcome will flush to the surface. What happens? So the pain, anything that was up, a feeling, a pain, a discounting, I had you be with that pain, yours. And then realize that if you look back, you say to your maternal lines, Who else has lived that story? And you let that space be filled in your imagination. It might have been a room where all of your ancestors back in time who lived that story that you are having a taste of, you brought them into that room where they could finally let their pain be seen, heard, and spoken. Because you're at a time and in a community that has the Sophia authority to make a difference. And so we brought them in and we said to them, we acknowledge this has been painful. There is no way to diminish the pain that you felt. We want you to know we know it was not easy. And we also want you to know that we recognize that you agreed to let that pattern play out in your life so that hopefully one of your ancestors, your daughters, great-granddaughters, could have the tools to do something about it. That was a contract, and we are here saying we can do something about it. Therefore, your need to be contractually tied to that old pain is fulfilled, contract eliminated, contracts dissolved. We have the key, and we let that settle in and bring in their healers, their angels, the Sophia group to take the pain, the costumes, all the limit and lack that they took on and move it into light celebration. They did what they did, not because they were bad, not because they were wrong, not because they needed to be shamed. No, they took it on from a soul strength to bless this family. And then we said to them, you contracts are forgiven. We place all of you into the hands of divine good, into that field that has the ability to dissolve what seems impossible generations back in order to open doors to the good, to benefit, the love that you are as star beings. And we let that be their path. So that was the first part of the generational healing. Now we're going to do part 2. When that was completed, you could then reaffirm your reality statement. So I want you in your mind just to think, what is a statement that you are holding? Just a moment, I have someone at my door. So I'm going to turn on the mute. And what is the reality statement for now? And get that in mind and we'll talk. So here we come back to, what do you do when you're moving forward? You keep coming back to your North Star. Your North Star might change a little bit, but you come back to your North Star. So I'm going to put you I want you to each speak a reality statement, so that we'll do the second part in relationship to the reality statement for tonight. So let's see let's see. Andrea, I don't know if you're still there. I know you have an appointment you had to go to. If you are there, Andrea, what you can speak a reality statement, then Pat, and then Janelle, and then Jennifer. I don't know if you'll be able to unmute. So Andrea, are you there?
Hello, I am here. Yes, I'm just about to. You guys see me? Yeah, I'm about to head into help organize the cook shack at the. As far as like, I really loved all that you were saying. As far as like upgrading my reality shift, the only thing I can think of, and I'll have to play with a little bit, is
Whoops,
field. You know,
say that one more
da
time.
da 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 da. Well, just something with like in alignment with the galactic field, or I don't know if you call, or I didn't have the right earbud on, but hold on one second. Um, uh, sorry. Um, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Just I don't know exactly how to best up level my reality statement, other than like in alignment with the galactic codes or whatever. So I want to play with a little bit, maybe check in with you about that. Um,
How about if we said all of my galactic in my galactic capacity and codes have manifested into a fit my earth life of abundance and richness, which is
yeah,
my
that
name,
sounds cool.
which is
Yeah, the
something like
galactic
that.
codes, that kind of thing. That I like that.
Okay,
Like
well,
that.
it'll be on the recording. You can find that. Because
Okay. All right.
well,
Well, thank you. I'm glad I got to hear.
okay, thanks, honey.
Enjoy the rest of your evening and all. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye, sweeties. Pat, do you have an idea of what would be your reality statement? Oh, you have to unmute, babe. Oh, you did.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Did I ever say what my reality statement was, or did I ever say what? I'm not sure I ever said that.
Okay. Let's see what you'd come up to. What would be a sentence for you? Of
Um,
what
I don't
you
think my goal has ever changed.
what
That's
is
interesting. And um, when I realized that it's possible to reach the same state that Jesus had, or Buddha, or my Baba,
Mhm,
then I said that's what I want.
mhm, mhm,
And even if it takes me longer, and it surely has, I think it's possible.
mhm,
I was talking with a friend tonight about stem cells,
mhm,
and how they're so intelligent. They are so amazingly intelligent. They can they know exactly where to go. They know exactly what to do, and they even give up their own life to make some other cell live.
mhm,
And and what you're talking about, it's kind of like that.
mhm.
All the generations that we've gone through, but I think it's time to get to that level where we're in that state where we do know, and we can go where we're needed and transform that area, whatever that is.
Yeah. So it might be something like in my state, in my presence of a divine soul. That's a stem cell. In my presence of as a divine soul, I move where I am called and enhance the good there.
Right.
Something like that. So yes, but having a reality statement for tonight is important. Janelle, I know that I don't know that you are going to want to be unmuted or have a, and if that's not, you can mentally do it. So just Janelle, if you want to just mentally have a reality statement, but if you want to unmute, go for it. Yeah,
Sure. Can you hear me?
I can.
So,
Great.
this is the statement that I've been working on is my new life is filled with grace, ease, and prosperity, which fully supports my galactic mission and personal fulfillment.
Mm-hmm. How about, this is just only a question. I'm not saying that's a suggestion. My life is new because my new life still puts it outside of present in my mind.
Okay. So
That's
you
good.
would say my life is new and it is
Yes.
filled with what?
Yes. Because that makes it present. For me, that's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
okay.
Okay. It's great
Oh,
statement.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jennifer, I don't know if you want to unmute. I'll give you a chance to. And because this is recording, any of our group who is listening either for the first time or even, oh, Jennifer, I see you unmuted. Do you have a statement?
Well, I've been working one that I like, but I think expanding it. The one I've been working with is better health and wellness. Open doors I walk through. I would like to add something that where I just naturally resonate an energy of healing and removing outsiders. That's just something I don't necessarily have to do for people I don't know, but it's out there,
Mhm.
you know. Does that make sense?
Yes, let me think how we might say that.
Okay.
My divine presence of clear, stable, healed vibrations resonate to clear and remove the cause of destruction, disease, and diminishing. Is that
I
something we
like,
at least
yeah,
work with tonight?
yeah, I like that. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay, now I'm just gonna take you on a journey, and so you're just in your imagination, let yourself go on the journey. You presence on the planet, female body, right to choose, have chosen this outcome. Now, in your mind, think it through, even if it's just a few words, think it through, and then I'm going to take us through the reality shift, and then we'll move into the generational piece. So think the reality statement. We call in all of our healers, causal team designers, ask them to move my consciousness, which is your entire energy field, from the galactic down to the earth into the earth 8. Move my consciousness into this declared reality. Myself and all to whom I am connected in love. I ask the tag healers and PTO collectives to deep 6 anything that is, has, or would keep me from this reality. Breathe and let them do that clearing work. I ask our causal team, our control central, to defrag the hard drive of where my software programs are held for this lifetime. Defrag the fifth dimension, clear it out, and then write the software program for the highest expression for myself and all to whom I'm connected in love for this outcome. Write the software programs, download the codes into my and their first dimensional field, and anchor the program itself into the fifth dimension and activate it in my hardware for this lifetime. Just get a sense of being in this field of energy, and the energy is rearranging, clouds that are rearranging, and some of those clouds, some of those tentacles are of outsider influence, and they're going like, we're not aligned to that. They're not aligned to that. They become like hot spots that drop down like from the sky onto one place on the planet. Here you're the sky, and these these energies of outsiders, it says not on our life, not on our territory. It drop down to one side, like they're on one side in a group. I'll just call them hotspots. They are not your light, not your manufacturers, not yours to fix, but they have been interfering and would continue to interfere with a specific request. Get a sense of that group pulling down. And we have them all corralled in a field, all surrounded. And we say to the PTO, surround this field. These are energy constructs, hotspots, who would actively destroy my ability to do this choice. Bring them down. And each one of them are like the body of an octopus with arms reaching everywhere. So we understand that they aren't just little, there's very extensive networks plugged in all over your field from who knows where, doesn't matter. The PTO is there, and we say to the PTO, these are not allowed because we are Sophia. We are standing in Sophia power, our staff in our ground. This is my body, my life, my choice. And these are not allowed. Soared into the sky, PTO. Contain all of these created forms. Neutralize so that they can easily identify. We identify the extension wherever those octopus go, neutralize them, and unplug the tips of those tentacles, unplug them from every part of myself, my field, and those I care about. Unplug them from my energy field and the field of everyone to whom I am connected in love. But the field is contained. It's not going anywhere. And there's no fight. It's neutralized. Any similar constrictions, networks are to be included in that hotspot. The same thing with them. Contain them, neutralize them, discover where the tentacles land, detach and unplug, pull them in, soaking them into a large ball. They were created outside of Earth, outside of our galactic field, out into Laniakea somewhere. So PTO moves them back to their originator. Originator. So all of it is moved out of your field. And remember, you're filled with the rainbow colors, so let the rainbow colors help move that out. All of that energy of hotspot outsiders moved to their originator in Laniakea. Just like if you were here in the United States and we found a criminal over it who had escaped to Italy, we could get to Italy, but we would need permission from the authorities in Italy to bring that criminal to justice. All of these outsiders in their original home are in Laniakea. So we're going to have to ask Laniakea 2 questions. Is there authority there to move this entire configuration into extinction protocol? So I'm going to ask, do we have the authority to move them into extinction protocol? Just listen in your mind. If you get a yes, raise your hand. Laniakea, do we have permission? Okay. And then ask again, the PTO and their collective, do we have all of the energy secured? Unplugged from your field, unplugged from Earth, unplugged from genetic family, secured. Is all the energy secured? And if you get a yes, raise your hand. If you had gotten a no from Laniakea, you'd have just said, okay, Laniakea, get permission, because that would be the court we'd go through. And then you'd wait till she would say, yes, now you have permission. You would have her get the permission and then tell you, you now have permission. If you had gotten a no, the energy isn't secure, then say, okay, PTO, do whatever needs to be done to secure energy. And then you hold space until they say yes. So this whole configuration of energy is of domination, diminishment, violence, is not allowed anywhere in our Earth, in our galactic family, in the Milky Way, or in Laniakea. That's already been decreed. They cannot do that work any longer. So we move them into the protocol of extinction, moving them back to their light dust. Light dust. They can never do that job again. They can never have that agenda again. Breathe. Give your appreciation to the Laniakea Collective. So grateful we have them on board. To the Galactic Council Collective that we have them on board. So grateful to the PTO team collective for the work they're doing. Bring your attention back to that rainbow energy moving up and down your midline, filling you with that rainbow divine who you are, cleaning and healing and balancing. Let's just complete with this statement. I am a presence of the divine star family, manifesting our nature of all good in my life and throughout the planet. Move your consciousness into that reality. and the consciousness of all to whom you are connected in love into that reality. Deep six, anything that is, has, or would keep it from you, keep clearing that out. Causal team defrag the fifth and write the software program, clarifying, refining for myself and all to whom I'm connected in love, and anchor that program codes into the first dimension connected to Gaia, calling that forth from the mycelium, and anchor the program itself in my fifth dimension as an active software program in my life. Then put yourself into a cook's hookup. Cross your ankles, interweave your fingers up under your chin, tongue at the roof of your mouth, and roll your eyes clockwise 12 times for the right hemisphere. Twelve times for the left hemisphere. When you're ready, you could just do a short little vagus nerve release with your head tilted to one side, nose straight ahead with your eyes up to the opposite side. So you feel a sense of sigh or relief. Again, hand to the tip of your head. Tip your head, look up with your nose straight ahead, your eyes up to the opposite side. Turn this over to your personal assistant. We haven't done too much work with her yet. Maybe you have, but okay, she's got it. She's got clearer instructions, your personal assistant. Refine your team, bring your team up to date on where you are after this class tonight. And let's just, one of the things that we might want to do as part of the assignment this week is claim your reality statement and then put it right down the midline of that cocoon, right down in the middle of you, the cocoon outside of you, and expand your cocoon. Expand your cocoon like maybe a 30, 50, 100 feet out. Your cocoon is huge, clearing your way, keeping you safe, keeping you balanced with that extinction shield on the outside, clearing and removing in a bigger way this week. And see how that might feel by extending that field of sixfold out further. And when you're ready, you can bring yourself back to this circle. Okay, take a breath. And let's just find maybe one word as a takeaway, or if you have questions, let's open the field for that till we close in 10 minutes. So anyone wants anything to say? Okay, any questions or takeaways? There's Pat. Yes, Pat?
I don't know. That made me feel a lot stronger. Made me feel a lot more centered. Yeah, I've had a very stressful and agitated week. and I wasn't even really sure I could be here now, as it were. And but it's given me a stronger sense of who I really am, and I think a little bit more interest or curiosity about how life will unfold to allow me to see that.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. It has been an intense, you're not alone, Pat, in feeling the intensity. Those of us who are, who are really not bowing under, we're not fighting, but we are holding a new place of our beingness. It has been intense. And fortunately, we have each other, we have tools, we have support in a lot of different ways. So thank you for being part of that. Thank you, Pat.
I have one question. Would you please tell me what PTO stands for?
It stands for nothing. It's not an acronym.
It's not. Okay.
What happened is in the early 1990s, I was made aware that I had opened up a clinic in Washington where I'd been teaching tag before. This was before my daughter's accident. And we had opened up a clinic so that we had 3 or 4 different tables in this bookshop in the basement of the bookshop. And we had a free clinic every Saturday. And the students could use their Reiki, they could use whatever other tools they had, but they included the basic tag. And we were doing that free clinic. And I was made aware, I won't go into detail, that I was drawing attention, that we were being noticed, and it was going to be dangerous. So this was after we recognized that we're in Salt Lake City, one clinic that was an integrated model had run into all kinds of problems because they were under attack, because they were noticed. So we put together the Red Rock to keep them invisible. That's part of the sixfold now, only one part. So that's when I became aware in my Seattle work of the outsiders. I knew more about them because of that. And so I was going to bed one night. This would happen many times as I was putting this program together, work together. There was a group that showed up by the side of my bed, and they were dots of light. And I didn't have my eyes open, eyes closed. It didn't matter. There they were. And they said, we would like to work with you. And I turned to my team, which Sananda was my touch point, still is my touch point. Sananda, are you aware of these beings? He said, I am. I said, do you think, should I listen to them? Because I'm not going to, go down the garden path. He said, yes, it's important you listen to them. So they said, basically, we have the ability to discern the energy. We didn't call them outsiders at the time, but that's what they were. We have the ability to discern their energy and to, it was like a Pac-Man, like we could extradite them. And would you like us to help? So I turned to Sananda and my team and I said, what do you think? How should we use them? They said, well, let's do a 3-day protocol to see what would happen. So the PTO team includes those beings of light that are not of our family. They are outside of those. They were never trapped because they were always aware, super aware of the frequencies. They could identify the deceit, the domination. They could discern it at any level. So their families had never been invaded. So they had that ability, but they didn't have the right to work with us because they are not of our family. We had to give them permission. So we had those beings, and they never wanted to be named, and they never wanted to be identified where they come from. So I just call them dots of light. So they were dots of light. We had the dots of light. We had the tag team, and we had Plutonian energy, Pluto energy, who could contain, so that these little outsiders didn't slip away. So we had 3 components: the dots of light who could identify it, with the authority through the tag team to remove it, while Pluto energy beings kept it contained. So the PTO team doesn't stand for anything. I just made PTO up. I don't even know why, but it contains those 3 components.
Oh. Okay.
And we've been using them ever since. They are now connected to the Galactic Collective Council and to Laniakea. So now it's a very extensive team that goes beyond an individual's life right out into Laniakea. So the PTO activates that entire collective. Deep Six activates that work in the entire collective of Earth, our galactic worlds, Milky Way, and into Laniakea.
How did you learn to listen, Sharon?
I didn't have to learn. I had that gift from the beginning.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, I'm really grateful. Yeah. The first time I asked the question when I said, that's what the men in the Mormon church do. They're supposed to be able to ask a question. And here, when I heard that process being given to my husband, I went, that's curious. And so I tried it on the first question, first time, 3 pages.
Wow.
Yeah. And I always checked it with Sananda, and I always checked it with, I didn't have anyone to teach me, so I had to find my own way to discern. So,
Mm,
yeah, that I didn't,
thank you.
but we all have it, and we have various ways of doing things, right? Okay, good, Pat. Jen, I don't know if you want to unmute, or if you have any questions, you can unmute, and right.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, what do you have?
Are just a closing.
Yeah, do you
This
just have a takeaway word? A
takeaway word.
Yeah, like what benefit maybe did you get from tonight?
Oh, gratitude.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm grateful for you, and I know that this was important to do, not just for us here, but to hold that for some of our sisters who are spinning out there right now, and we're holding them in this space. Okay, my loves. Until next week. Oh, and yeah, till next week, and we may go over this part next week again, because it's really, these are important pieces. That's all I know. We'll see, but we will see you next week. Always, you can get a hold of me if you get on band and do done with your daily assignment. And Janelle did a great job. She started to chat to let me know that she couldn't be here tonight. So if you want to try band in different ways, certainly do. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Jennifer.
Looks like she's still muted.